to Rooted in the Seasons, where we explore how ancient wisdom meets modern life with a strong cup of tea and a dose of practical tools. I'm Katya Patel, Ayurveda diet and lifestyle educator, yoga teacher, and teacher mentor, and someone who helps you find calm and clarity through small daily rituals, seasonal rhythm, and timeless wisdom. My guest today, I'm very excited about that, is Anu Paavola, a clinical Ayurvedic practitioner, educator, and founder of Jivita Ayurveda in London, a well-being hub that combines traditional Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science-informed approach to health and nutrition. For over 15 years, Anu has guided people towards better balance through consultations, body therapies, and professional training. She's especially passionate about helping us understand food, not as rules, but as nourishment, and how modern science is beginning to catch up with what Ayurveda has known all along. And this is what I love as well most. Anu also runs the Jivita Academy of Ayurveda, where she trains future therapists and diet and lifestyle consultants. And she is currently completing a master's in pain management at UCL, exploring the meeting point between Ayurveda, neuroscience, and the mind-body connection. This is most impressive. And what I totally forgot is to mention is that Anu is also the author of Ayurveda Detox, How to Cleanse, Balance, and Revitalize Your Body. All the relevant links about Anu will be in the show notes. So,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, very good. Nice to see you.
Likewise, likewise. So I'm really excited about our conversation today. Ayurveda and food or nutrition, that's something that I was interested in from the beginning when I was introduced to Ayurveda and also the food side about 30 years ago. And I was a vegetarian then, and German vegetarian options at that time, they were not particularly exciting. So this how to combine foods, how to use pulses and grains, and all the different variations that that especially, I mean, the Indian cooking has had at that time, I found mind blowing, and so it always has interested me since then. Hence, I did the course with you as well from that particular topic. And but not everyone is so enthusiastic about Ayurvedic nutrition, and it is often seen as very complicated and complex in all these food lists, and then people give up before they have even started. So I want to start asking with, is it really that complicated?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a great question. Thanks for that. And that's exactly where I focus my attention in my education is to let people understand or change their perception of
Mm,
complexity in Ayurveda. And the problem with the mainstream education of Ayurveda really is that it focuses too much on the dosha theory. And the dosha theory is, yes, very interesting and exciting, and it's obviously a tool for us practitioners to diagnose. But there's plenty of background information that you would need before you understand the dosha theory fully. And so, especially in the West, where we don't have the cultural background of what Indians would have naturally. Um, Trying to figure out Ayurvedic diet through the dosha theory is going to be very complicated indeed. but there is a way out of it, and in fact, it is really my passion to show how simple and practical and fun the Ayurvedic diet is, because there should be joy in eating. There should be,
Mm.
that enjoyment, that we shouldn't deny ourselves good food. We shouldn't eat food that is, healthy but doesn't taste of anything or tastes bad. So there are certain tenets in Ayurvedic diet that we need to remember, is that, you know, um, just, enjoy food, eat very good food, eat food that you love, because so starting from that, to make sure that, every meal is, as good as you can get. Um, but yeah, so I think, to understand what Ayurvedic diet really is, to understand, the history of Ayurveda. So if you don't mind, if I'll I'll give a little bit of
Do.
background to that.
Oh, it's good to listen to someone else, everyone bring different words in. So so do feel free
Yeah.
to do a little bit of that,
So
yes.
where does this Ayurvedic diet come from is really the important question. It's because um, uh, there are so many fad diets, diets that have been invented. But Ayurvedic diet is not an invention of anyone. It wasn't invented in India. It was discovered in India. Yeah, so there was a process of discovery that went on, because 5,000 years ago there was a similar health crisis that we have today, when hunter gatherers decided to start farming, and the agriculture had, kind of tied people to the land, and they started forming villages, and these kind of urban even environments, where lots of people come together in a small, relatively small enclosure. They're not moving as much. They've got more food because they can have storages, and because can have storages, they can have out of season foods. Um, and and so occupational disorders, and especially something that, we can see in a music festival, a couple of days, there is a mess. It's very untidy and unhygienic place to be in an enclosure. So epidemics would go rampant. So all these, lifestyle disorders and epidemics had to be resolved. And the solution came. These folks were quite clever at looking, over the fence of the village, to look at those. Why are those folks, why are they not ill, the ones that were still hunting and gathering? Or why do wild animals not suffer from lifestyle disorders? And so this process of observation of nature that then ensued, some people just put their heads together and say, let's see what happens in here. And I started looking at the very complicated, chaotic, random nature, and realized, actually, it's not that. There is that, but there's also an order. There's a specific order in which certain things happen, that animals and people in nature, in the wilderness, they do what nature allows them to do at any specific time. That means there is seasonality, and there's a light dark cycle that they follow, and they cannot not follow it. You see what I mean?
Mm. Yes, yes.
So that then sparked, to kind of, let's say, enthusiasm of creating, kind of writing this down, this knowledge of nature's cycles.
Mm.
And within those cycles, the diet changes 3 times according to the harvest. And so you have the growth season, you've got the reproductive season, and then you have the withering and death and hibernation. So growth, maintenance, and decay season. And so that would be the diet of nature. That's what nature would provide you if you were living in the wilderness. Yeah. So thinking about, Ayurvedic diet, the doshas, you have now this season, now it's time to take, today I feel Vata, yesterday I was a bit Pitta. So starting to combine all this together is very confusing. Wolf cubs don't do that. They know from the beginning what to eat. Yeah. There is no way an elephant would start thinking about their doshas.
I think
Um,
I think everyone par us knows what they
yeah,
should eat.
yeah. So, because the model of Ayurveda is nature, so therefore
Mm,
we need to choose our food as nature would provide us. So, seasonal food. And there is a great advantage of this because the seasonal food will provide you exactly the nutrients that you need in that specific period. In the spring, you want to lose. In summer, you want to cool. In winter, now we have hearty, healthy foods. Kind of that enhance our strength and resilience towards the cold season. So if you eat seasonally, there is lots of intelligence in that diet. There's lots of wisdom. There's lots of connection with nature, getting back, to connection with nature that
mm,
we always cry about, and we've lost that kind of connection. And
yes.
it's and we think that to connect with nature, you need to go to the woods and start hugging trees, but that's just a moment in time. That'll be a moment in time where that you have to isolate from your normal life if you're an urbanite. But to connect with nature on a daily basis and all the time is to go into this cycle of seasonality with your diets. And obviously then the dinacharya, which is a daily ritual, the routine, so that you can do it, kind of guide every day with the timing and seasonality, the way nature intended.
Can I just ask, with regards to the seasonality, where would you see the seasons? Like, is it the hemispheres or is it smaller than that? Because now um, there are quite a few people who don't know what's in season because we have everything available at all time, and food comes from any part of our globe. So would you say that seasonality is everything that grows now for us, like in the northern hemisphere, and that's where the harvest is? So that's what our body could digest? Or is it more like everything that would grow in Europe?
In principle, um, seasonal food is, you know, let's say it comes it embraces the concept of local foods,
Yeah.
but the locality, the closer to home, better it is because it connects you with the soil and the microbiome. There's a match then with your local environment and your guts, and then you can maybe um, become more resilient towards seasonal disorders and for example, pollen and allergies and the things like that.
Mm,
But you can think seasonal food. You can harvest. Well, you can source your food from quite exotic places as well because they go through that same harvest, the same season at the same time.
yes.
So you can have lemons from Sicily. They don't grow except in artificial conditions. Let's say in the lemons in here in UK. But if you look at Sicily goes through winter at the same time as
Mm,
we go. So the Sicilian food has the same dynamics to balance winter. Yeah,
yeah,
although
yeah.
the winter is milder there than
Mm,
here, still there is that same gunic profile or the
yes.
qualities of the season being cold and dry and light that aggravates vata. So anything that grows in Sicily in that period of time is like juicy and heavy and full of vitamin C. That gives us that uh, that balance between
Mm,
opposites, hence increasing our um, strength to resist the
yeah.
seasonal pressure.
So the closer to home, the better it is. But you can also venture a little bit
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and that's still okay.
And okay, there is obviously, you not necessarily want to have food from London that is grown in London gardens because we have pollution
That's
here.
the point.
So,
Yes, I was thinking more England rather than London specific.
so there's fortunately there is flexibility.
Um, you mentioned the allergies because that's also something that I know from when I grew up. If someone had a food allergy, that was something really severe, and that was rare as well. And now the rarity is more if you have no allergies. So, do you think that the increase in allergies is a result of this, that we are eating globally and that the food comes from any place at any time, and our body just struggles with that? Or is that also, maybe that's what I also think, is that there's also the quality of the food, the way that it's grown and the purpose, so that it grows faster, grows better, and is
Mm.
more resilient to all sorts of things, that it also has changed the product itself, where the food then is made for. Um, that the allergies and that these two aspects, that they are related.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a general, let's say, there is a pandemic of poor digestion in the world, and so poor digestion causes food sensitivity, and that has to be distinguished from allergies. Allergy is, um, much more severe reaction that can be even deadly um, to a protein or, let's say, um, something that you've been exposed to, and the body has developed memory within in its immune system to consider something like milk or eggs or peanuts, something like that. And that's very difficult to rectify fully. It can happen. Some people do recover from allergies, but if you have an allergy, um, you can kind of expect that your body will be reactive to it. However, to what extent it's going to react is then dependent on how well you take care of yourself. For example, I had a cat allergy, and when I've done the Ayurvedic diet and lifestyle, for now a couple of decades, I can be around cats now. But if
Mm,
I, touch them and put my hands in the eyes, then obviously I feel it, but it's nowhere close to what the reaction used to be. And also kind of the hay fever in the spring, I was um, I was severely mucousy, and I was just kind of ejecting large, like almost vomited when I was like around 8, 9 years ago. It was definitely uh, has improved to the extent that I'm not doing that anymore at
mm,
all. But food sensitivities, obviously, they can be fixed, at least in theory, because sensitivity is a result of wear and tear of the digestive power. And
mm,
therefore, when you start getting sensitivities, that means that you're not able to digest, first of all, those hard to digest proteins such as lactose and gluten. And so basically, yeah, so it's let me just come in. Sorry, my dog is being a bit silly. I just want to go. Let's hope he's not gonna start barking. Yeah. Anyway, so that distraction over. Um,
so our digestive capacity, the agni, that's so if that's weak, and but I think it is also something like a cycle where we are in. So
yeah,
you eat food where the quality maybe is not ideal. The
no,
season and what the body actually needs to balance is not ideal, and all of the, and also um, something else. The time where we eat is
mm,
also often not ideal. Too many heavy stuff in the evening, and light throughout the
yeah,
day, and snacking in between. All of that also weakens the our digestive capacity. So
absolutely.
it's more like a result of doing maybe lots of little things to weaken
Yeah, absolutely.
ourselves.
Yeah, so eating habits have changed so much. And obviously, food quality is not. We more mainly eat food like items rather than
Mm,
natural food. There is an author called Michael Pollan. You might remember it from the course. I quote him quite often. He's
Yes.
wonderful, a food writer, and he said, to how to eat is eat food, not too much, mainly vegetables. And there's such a coincide way of looking at what our diet should be. And
Yes.
so, what is food? Food is um, really what grows in nature. What is our availability? Well,
Mm,
we can see, in a natural form. So we have highly processed, ultra processed foods that
yes.
that don't have natural flavor, have artificial flavorings, and many people are used to those very intense flavors, and obviously, their natural food doesn't have that appeal anymore once you've gone into that kind of food that not only has intense flavors, but it's intense on the gut itself. It creates wear and tear. So the gut lining suffers. You've got, food chemistry that is downright toxic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, when people suffer from allergies or any digestive related
Yeah.
issues, the trust in the food goes. They don't know anymore what they can eat or what they should eat. Then you mentioned all these invented diets and recommendations where they go from one to the other, and nothing helps. So how to rebuild that trust again into the food that they can eat, find out, where to start again with that.
Yes.
Any ideas? It's
Yeah.
I know it's
How to
really
wean
very
yourself.
individual, so this whole process, and depending
Yeah.
on what specific that is. But is
Mm.
there sort of one guideline or something where they could start? Just to rebuild that trust again.
Um, yes. Well, first, I think that always the starting point is timing, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Start start developing an ability to fast between meals.
Mm,
And so the the food culture is often focused, kind of often very snacking. It's a snacking
yes.
culture. We're encouraged to have frequent
Healthy
meals.
snacking.
Yeah, and yeah, well, there is not really a healthy snack, and also there is no health food after five o'clock. That's kind of to remember, is that there is no such thing as a healthy snack. It's an
Mm,
oxymoron. And also, there's no health food after 5 o'clock.
yeah.
So any food, no matter how healthy it is on paper, eaten in the evening is going to be uh, digested, poorly, and can leave residues of digestion that can then enter into the system. And and so basically, starting to develop an ability to fast 4 hours at least between meals. 4 hours is not much. No one's going to die out of 4 hours. But I understand that if you come from a frequent snacking culture, or habits, and blood sugar control is then all over the place. You need to do that gradually, just kind of 10 minutes, a day, longer time to eat, so
Yes.
that once you get there, that you have that 4 hour window where you do not eat anything and allow the digestion to work its way through. You become naturally resilient. You become flexible in your metabolism and energy efficient. And so blood sugar doesn't become a problem anymore. And as a consequence of that, you have this true hunger.
Mm,
When you have true hunger and appetite at the same time, yes, the tomatoes, natural ones, they will have more flavor. They will be delicious. But if you're constantly feeding yourself snacks, that tongue gets numb and
mm,
doesn't, then appreciate more delicate flavors, let's say. It's just kind of the intermittent fasting is, in my view, the first point to start looking, towards having a more refined palate
mm,
and appreciating the flavors that come directly from nature. But the problem really is, today, is that even fruit and vegetables, they don't have flavor. They have less flavor than it used to be because they are often picked up before their full maturity, so they're not ripe, and they're put into a storage
Mm.
in darkness out of the sun to ripen. But the sun is the one that creates the sugar and gives the flavor. So um, therefore we have fruit and vegetables that really don't have much flavor at
Yeah.
all. I mean, if
Yeah.
you've had from your own garden a tomato that has
Mm.
grown all the way, allowed to grow in the vine and mature in the vine, oh my God, the flavor is just
It
divine
is. It
compared to what you get
tastes
from the
like a
supermarket.
tomato should taste, right?
That's
And,
right.
not like an apple.
Yeah. 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 I mean, there's crazy things that in China they are now considering injecting the tomatoes with a gene that would increase the sugar, flavor in them rather than allowing them to grow under the
To grow
sun.
in the sun naturally. And now it is all it is, it's all a bit weird.
It's all a bit weird. Yes. Yes. So sometimes, you want to kind of change can be quite scary sometimes, so it's changing your diet as well. The
Yes, it
people often
is.
kind of stay within what they have at the moment, but then go through that change period.
That's right. And I mean, I know people, they are afraid of food. They don't know what, they are afraid of, dry lentils, because they don't know
Yeah.
what to do with it,
Yeah.
and it's a bit
Yeah.
sad as well,
Yeah.
the situation.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
you mentioned, right at the beginning about enjoying the food, and I think that's also, I don't know if Ayurveda says that particularly in the scriptures, but, um, I heard always about, if you eat something that maybe is not the best for you, at least enjoy it, at
Yes.
least don't feel guilty and keep on eating. With every bite, you have more guilt that you eat as well. At least acknowledge, okay, that's not ideal, but I'm enjoying that now.
Yeah. Exactly. So when you do the wrong thing, do it with gusto.
That's right. Know that you're doing it. Don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are times that we need to compromise.
Mm,
You go traveling, you're invited to eat in the evening a dinner with your friends. You obviously go and do that because it's lovely. And once you relax, your digestion improves. So if you eat with guilt and oh my God, I shouldn't eat that kind of negative emotion, your digestion slows down, and obviously then that's not a good thing. So if you decide to do that, let's say the wrong thing, which is something we need to do on occasion. We
yes,
need
sure.
to flex our bodies. And so when you do that, then we do that with full acceptance and surrender to that, hamburger, then you will digest it much better.
Mm.
Mm.
And that's also something that I, have experienced myself, is the accumulation of the bad food is obviously that contributes really to you feeling bad afterwards, and your
Mm.
digestion is messed up. But if you're going out in the evening, you eat what you shouldn't, and you enjoyed it, and the next day this is not what I'm repeating today, or I'm eating something else that is not ideal, but it's not that. So then the digestion has also the ability to recover again, and or maybe you leave out your breakfast, and give it even more time to fully digest. Um, uh, that's sort of more agreeable, and a good compromise to be aware of that accumulating, maybe, foods that are not ideal.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's most of the time do the right thing. Then you avoid this accumulation that and because of the resilience of the system, then um, the agni, that digestive fire, has two sort of, roles. One of them is to change food into whatever it comes into, but another one is recognize toxins.
Hmm.
And so when your body has that resilience and strength, when you do most of the time you do the right thing, then the process of digestion is stronger, and also the toxins that could accumulate on a frequent, uh, deviations from the golden path, let's say, the accumulation then, doesn't happen. The toxins come out. There's those people that happy-go-lucky, and they live up to 90 years of age, and they eat the rubbish they want, drink whatever they like. They have a cigar in their mouth, since childhood. There's
Yes.
unexplainable health in those people,
Mm.
but they have a really, really robust agni.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and so whatever their body gets in, it kind of recognizes and leaves out. And so
Exactly.
there are those, blessed people that can can enjoy the life in all its facets, and
Yeah.
including, diets and lifestyle, and still have nothing. It's one of those things that, we are all born different. Some of us are strong, some of them are not that strong, and the ones that are a bit weaker need to be taking care of themselves a little bit more. So there's this spectrum from, let's say, percentage from 0 to 100, and let's say there's a 50% in the middle. The the stronger you are, the more robust you are, the more you can deviate from the golden path.
Yes.
So, if you're just really like strong, as an example I gave you, you can do 51% is enough.
Right. And I think this is also something that is probably difficult for humankind is that we are all different, and we see obviously what the others are doing. And I think, why can't I do that? To acknowledge that, okay, I did come to this planet not with the best digestive system. That's why I can't do that, and that's why I can do that
Yeah.
occasionally, but
Mm.
not on a
Yeah,
regular basis, sort of.
yeah, yeah,
Um, Ayurveda invites us to reflect and to look inside and
yeah.
to observe our body and to observe, how the food that we eat, how it makes us feel and how we are digesting it. And when we get into that process, then we discover what we can and what we can't eat and
Mm.
how it makes us feel, if we want to have that feeling afterwards or not, or how often. And yeah, then maybe it gets a little clearer.
Yeah, absolutely. When you know yourself, then you know your limits as well. And
Mm,
there's, if digestion is weak, there is most likely always room for improvement. It's just to understand what is in your capacity within that context, and time and resources to do to yourself, to help yourself. But yes, I mean, because of the laws of opposites, the healing principle of Ayurveda, there is always, in theory, there is always a way to strengthen your system.
mm,
Obviously, we have, genetics, but most of the times our problems are, let's say, epigenetic. They're diet and lifestyle related problems. And for a minority of people are prey of their genes, actually.
yes, yes.
Mm.
No, it sounds good though, if we can blame it on the genes. Okay, so um, I want to slowly wrap it up and want to ask you a few questions.
Mhm. Go ahead.
So, if you could give one piece of advice to someone trying to eat healthier, but feeling stuck in maybe perfectionism, what would that be?
Feeling stuck in their diet, did I understand
Yeah,
correctly?
feeling stuck in their diet or being very perfect around everything,
Yeah.
that it needs to be in a
Right.
particular
Okay.
way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah,
and feeling stuck in that.
yeah. I always say fundamentalism is not healthy. To be too strict is not healthy. Life, as we mentioned earlier, life is to be enjoyed, and you don't want to deny moments of enjoyment because you have to stay strictly into your diet, for example. So, like I always say, is that if your mates invite you out for dinner, are you going to, sit home and be miserable with your Ayurvedic diet, or are you going to go out and enjoy a meal which might not be the healthiest one, but it makes you happy? So, if you're eating unhappy, if you're eating healthy food unhappy, that is not health food. But if you're eating unhealthy food, but you're happy and rejoice, and there's that social element of it. So it's really important not to be 100%. You can't be 100%. Life is not 100%. You have to be able to be prepared for the inevitable change and sudden events and surprises. Um, and mostly doing the right thing, you will
Yeah,
have that robustness that we were talking about,
that's right.
and not take a knock-on effect from sometimes not doing being so
Mm.
strict.
And maybe also sort of being more forgiving towards yourself, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And a bit more lenient. So that's I think that's a good point. Not sit at home miserable with your healthy Ayurvedic diet, and then you think Ayurveda is the
Yeah,
culprit.
yeah.
That
And that
you.
that is the thing about stress. If you're in a negative state, let's call it stress, whatever
Mm,
kind of negative state it is, it causes tension. And tension reduces digestive capacity. So no matter how healthy your food is, if you're eating out of negative under negative emotion, it's not going to be digested well. So you can get gas and bloating from the superfoods in a matter of minutes if that happens. But um, so it's just really important to understand that stress has a huge impact on our digestion. It can stop it completely, and therefore eating under stress or miserable or large quantities under emotion, especially what lots of people tend to do, eating,
mm,
me included in the past.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Um, what does eating with awareness looks like in daily life?
Well, it has kind of facets of what is involved in that food making, starting from where do you source from food, how do you prepare the food, how you're eating. It's all about how. So food has awareness. Food is a living thing. Natural food lives. It has awareness, and treating it with respect, at the right time, in right quantity,
Mm,
at the right speed, in right
mm,
combination. So there's all these kind of factors that need to be kind of counted in, so that uh, you appreciate what nature has offered you. Even if you're a vegan, you're going to kill when you eat. It's a
mm,
living being. So if you eat a carrot, you have that little stump and you put that into soil, it will start growing. There is
yeah,
life in it.
yeah, yeah.
So we need to be appreciative of what we eat, because you have awareness and you want to have that, kind of um, prana, that comes within that equation when you put full awareness. And obviously being present when you eat. Don't watch
Yeah.
television or screens of any sort, or
Mm,
read, or have a conversation that takes your awareness away from food.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I think Ayurveda is also very keen on, the how, like you said, how you prepare your
Yeah,
food,
yeah,
your frame of mind when you're cooking or when
yeah,
you're preparing, not just
yes.
when you're eating it, but everything goes into the food as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
that's a good.
yeah, you can have, like, if you look at these three gunas as well, the sattva, rajas, and tamas, that's how do you create a sattvic food is to, you know, have that awareness of, the whole process. But also sattvicity comes, doing things the way nature intended.
Mm,
Nature is always in a state of sattva.
yeah.
Nature can't step out of sattva. Yeah. There's sattvic rajasic foods, there's sattvic tamasic foods. So they are foods that, in create
Educate.
arousal, and the other
Mm,
one to pacify and calm you down.
mm,
And so if you maintain the naturalness and awareness of that food, but the tattva, the umbrella of sattva, can disappear if you uh, misuse or abuse
mm.
your food.
Yeah, yeah. Wonderful. All good, food for thought, as
Yes,
well.
yes, absolutely.
And, my last question, now you're a very busy person. You have your own, Ayurveda Academy and, Ayurveda Center, doing your masters on the side, right? So, what is your favorite grounding meal, and,
Grounding, what, sorry?
grounding, what,
Ah, yes, okay. What do I
grounds
do?
you again, and with all of what's going on, where I think, "That's
Uh,
just right."
yeah, great question. I love to preach out this. We do meditation sessions, in fact, twice a week to teach people how to live through this madness.
Mm,
It's Dandapani's teachings. Dandapani is a Hindu monk. You should
yes,
read about,
yes.
recommend everyone. He's got brilliant advice on how to cope with this. Is to find focus, being able to focus, and that's a skill that you can develop. We're always being told that, you need to focus, concentrate, but we constantly are distracted by things. World distracts us all the time,
Absolutely,
and how
yes.
to maintain focus. And that's the way through it. Um, and he's got great techniques. One of them is kind of just slow down, and the other one he calls talking to a driving instructor, like in driving school.
Mm,
Um, you talk to the driving instructor what you're going to do before you execute that action. So I'm going to turn
yes.
right, and then you turn right. I'm going to turn left, and then you turn left. And so basically, you can take that as your immediate tool from your kind of invisible toolbox
Yes,
immediately at
yes.
any time. So if you feel overwhelmed and you've got too much to do, you just start talking yourself through what you're doing. Just every action you say, like, I'm gonna lift my hand, I'm gonna put my hand down, I'm gonna turn my head, and I'm gonna look up. And every little action you just put in your mind, and immediately you come back to present moment, and you gain, you get the grip of the moment. So it's a very handy, very easy trick,
Hmm.
and you can use it anytime, and no one ever notices that you're suddenly kind of using a tool. Like, you need to have it if you're in a meeting, in a executive meeting. You can't, do mindfulness practices like striking yoga poses, or take 10 deep breaths, and it's not possible. But you can start talking to yourself through, and immediately get a grip, and a kind of that focus that is needed within this environment that provides distraction. Um,
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. Do you
unrelentlessly.
do you have a favorite, food or a meal, whatever, that helps you as well? So when you come back home in the evening or you do lunch, where you think, "That's what I need right now."
um, I don't eat in the evenings since I've gone through menopause. When I went to Perry, I stopped eating after lunch. Um, but I could have in the evening a golden milk.
Yes,
Golden milk is just, and also
delicious.
in the mornings, I have a spicy
Right.
cacao drink. So that
Mm,
those 2 are the ones that just really pacify my
okay.
soul and my mind. Like,
And
it's
it's easy to do, right? It's not
yeah,
like, you don't need
yeah,
to prepare a whole meal,
exactly, yeah,
and,
yeah.
that's very good advice, I love milk as well, the golden milk. I drink it every evening.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
just, divine. I think it's one of the best things,
I know. It's like nectar for the soul.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That was excellent, and I really hope that people get some. I'm pretty sure lots of food for thought on that. And so, if anyone wants to get in contact with you, Anu, how do they do that?
Well, obviously, our website has everything you need to know. We are in Kensal Rise in Northwest London.
Mm,
And yeah, there is even a handle for the WhatsApp on the website, so you can talk to me directly through text messages. And so yeah, so if you have any questions, we do health consultations, treatments, events, retreats. In fact, I'm going holding a retreat this weekend in
that's
Dorset
nice.
called Vedic
Yeah.
Weekend. And we have another detox retreat in spring, and then summer a panchakarma retreat.
Mm,
So we offer a quite great deal, and obviously the courses online, which you were part as
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and
Do
studying.
you, do you do the nutritional course still?
Yes, yes. This
Yeah.
year I'm just doing online because
Yeah.
of the master's program. Um, but then, yes, next year, 26 September, we should be starting again the classroom program.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can say that this is worthwhile doing because I really enjoy that, and it is your broad teaching, and I think this is what I really liked about the course was it's not about when we come back to the beginning, it is often this long food lists and all complicated, and I need to
Mm.
sort of cook Indian food, but it is just a sort of a re-education of or demystifying of that belief,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
it was very insightful and yeah, informative as well, and lots of practical aspects as well with
Mm.
tasting foods and sort of observing, how they make us feel.
Thank you for that
Very
comment. That's
good.
lovely to hear.
It's all true.
Brilliant.
Wonderful. So thank you so much for joining. And yeah,
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure we see each other again at one point somewhere.
Brilliant.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.
Well, thank you so much for listening to Rooted in the Seasons. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe or follow wherever you're listening. This way, you won't miss the next one. You can also download my free guide, my 5 quick Ayurvedic fixes to move from scattered to steady, and join my Sunday Read newsletter. You'll find the link in the show notes. And of course, I always like hearing from you. So do connect, message me on Instagram or drop me an email, and let me know what resonated with you. Until next time, stay rooted in the season. Thank you.